Welcome everybody, it's Blowover Productions, and yes, the moment is finally here where we get to determine and crown the YouTube Cup Series Season 1 Championship winner. It has been an amazing ride with you guys, and I cannot believe that this little series of mine has gotten so much traction, but a little bit on that later. We're going to get down our lineup. Mike Jones in the number 92, he is racing for NASCAR Motorsports, has 3 wins this season, he's first in points, and he's starting first in this race. Now you have Theft King, he's driving for FNAF Racing in the number 76, he has 4 wins this season, he's sitting second in points behind Mike Jones. Pretty good stuff from the 76 car. He's going to be starting 8th. Now, Philball Animations in the 61 for Balls Animation Motorsports has 1 win this season. He's 3rd in points, and he's starting 12th. So, pretty good stuff from the 61 car. He only has 1 win this season, but I'm sure that he has just as much of a chance as everybody else, but he's in a must-win situation. Who else is in a must-win situation, you ask? Daniel Draws. He's in the number 91 for Animated Buddies Motorsports today. He has 2 wins this season, both coming at Daytona. He's 4th in points, so he's also in a must-win situation. But this might be a good breakthrough for him, so it's because he is starting in 6th. So I think he has a pretty good shot. But the pace car is going to pull in for the final time. Well, maybe not the final time because we might have a caution. But this is the race for the YouTube Cup Series Championship. So without further ado, let's crown the winner. Let's go at Homestead Miami Motor Speedway. Here they come speeding through turns 1 and 2. Daniel Draw is already going to take the middle lane on his teammate, the 23 of King Science. Mike Jones is also there taking the middle lane as well as they speed through turns 1 and 2. And wreck behind them. Hard into the wall goes 2 cars, I think. It's the 61 and the 96 of Philball Animations and Easy2B. Easy2B's engine has exploded. Let's check that replay. Here they are coming in turn 1, and it looks like Zeke Sensenike tapped the left front of the 96, sent him up the track, tried to get it together, but Philball was on the outside, didn't have enough time to react, and they went hard into the outside wall. Not a good start for the 61 here, not a good beginning to his day, or his race for that matter. 96 wasn't in championship contention, but he's definitely not having a good day either. On board with him now. Ooh, that was a big lick. And that engine exploded. Big crash there to start off this race. But we'll see you on the restart. Welcome back to Homestead Miami Speedway, everybody. We've got John Casterline leading, as well as championship contender Mike Jones starting right behind him. And in 3rd, it's PM Damien. So we're going to drop the green flag, and let's continue this championship battle for the YouTube Cup Series Championship. That sounded better in my head. PM Damien all the way down to the inside here. Mike Jones on the outside. He's going to start losing a little bit of position here. He went to the outside lane, which is not the preferred spot. Crastina going to make it 3 wide almost as they go through turn 2. We made it through this time. Puerto Rico up in 5th now as they speed down the backstretch. John Casterline still leading this race. He's not in championship contention, but he could still very much get a win here. He has a really fast car right now, I can tell. Crastina down to the inside. He's now going to come up in 2nd. Mike Jones down in 4th now as they go back onto the front stretch. Everybody's battling for position here. As let's take a look at our championship contenders. We got Mike Jones down here in almost 5th now. Actually, now he is in 5th. He's getting passed by Puerto Rico YT. And now another championship contender, Daniel Draw, is going to come up on his door. Racing 3-4 wide behind him in turns 1 and 2 as they go into the backstretch. Mike Jones trying to fend off that 91. He wants his championship, but so does Dano. And Dano kind of needs this win. So he's going to have to make his way up to the front as they race 4th wide through 3 and 4. Theft King pushing it tight with the 23. King Science are going to come down on Connor Hudson, but manage to keep everything straight. Everybody trying to get in a single file line, trying to find their line for this race. There's Philip Ball in the 61 now. He is all the way in the back of the field. I think it might be safe to say his championship ideas are over. He is already in need of a win, but since that early race wreck, he has ruined his chances as he's now in the back and has a faulty motor. Not faulty, just not at high-level performance now. His teammates, however, are definitely trying to dominate this race. Puerto Rico and Crastina have made themselves up into the top 5 as Puerto Rico takes 3rd place and Crastina just barely holds on to 5th. Just lap 9 of 41 now. Puerto Rico hot behind the 48. He's trying to take the lead now. Could Puerto Rico win this race, or will it be John Castellan? They go 1, 2, and 3 in the turns 1 and 2 here. Coming onto the backstretch, Puerto Rico makes a move to the inside. He's going to try to get past the 48. Mike Jones and Daniel Draw still back there battling for position. Battling for about, I want to say, 7th to 5th position. Here comes Hungry Bones to the inside of the 12. Now here comes Daniel Draws as well. He's definitely doing a little bit better than the 92. And I think it's safe to say that he definitely might get a championship as well here. But Mike Jones definitely shouldn't be looked out, as he is still right behind the number 91. Krasina is behind him as well. That's what I'm talking about, those BAM teammates avenging their team leader, Philiball Animations. They want to make their boss proud, since their boss has crashed out of the championship pretty much. Oh, contact between the 48 and the 12. PM Damien gets spun by Puerto Rico YT and hard into the inside wall. And the caution is going to come. Well, the caution's not out, actually. But a good save there by the 48. PM Damien, a huge wreck there on the inside lane. Let's look at the replay. Here they are coming off turn 2. PM Damien has a lot of room, but up comes Puerto Rico, and he just brings him all the way down the track. Didn't even try to save him or get off of him, and just sent the 48 for a spin through the grass. To look at all the fans. Good thing that wall is there. There's no safer barrier, though, so I do hope the 48's okay. Didn't look to be too bad of an impact. Got sent spinning back up the track. Spins a couple more times, but eventually saves it. So great job there by the 48. Ooh, Philip almost hit him as well. Back to the racing here. It looks like they did not call a caution, and it looks like the leader is still Casterline, with the 65 of Hungry Bones catching back up to him. That's a driver for Rant Racing, and Daniel Jaws is in 3rd, but Mike Jones is running about 5th now, so he's definitely still in the championship window. But if Daniel Jaws doesn't win this race, then Mike Jones will get the championship, because Daniel needs those points to win. So if he can't get to the front here in these next about 30 laps, then he's not going to get a championship. Here comes Mike Jones to the inside of Krasina now in the 27. There's everybody else racing close behind him. As you can see, like I said, everybody's single file now getting their lines down. And here comes the 91 all up on the back bumper of the 15. But it looks like John Castellan has actually been passed. Hungry Bones is in the lead now. And boy, are they running away with it. This gap could be good for the 91 because he doesn't have as much competition to worry about. And he doesn't have to worry about Mike Jones. But again, if he doesn't even finish first, he's not going to win the championship. So he's going to get past the 15 here and maybe clear him. But if he can't get past that 65, he can kiss that championship trophy goodbye. Mike Jones, on the other hand, is comfortably sitting in 1st. So as long as he gets a good finish and the 91 doesn't pass the leader, then he will win the championship. We've already discussed the situation for Philip Ball, so I don't think it's a good idea for me to cover him. So sorry to see him go. But Def King, he is not making good progress right now. He's not even in the top 10. I think he's running about 15th right now. So he's definitely probably not as much in championship contention as the 91 and 92 are. But it's still very possible because Def King is sitting 2nd in points. So he might not need to get a win, but he definitely needs to be in front of that 92 if he wants a championship. And by the looks of it, that's not what's happening. You see him on screen right now. He's running with the back markers like Adam Ethereal. So, and I think I saw a couple other cars back there that are back markers. But point is, if he wants a championship, he needs to climb his way up to the front, which isn't impossible, but quite difficult, especially at a track like this, where, as you can see, the field is so spread out and it's nearly impossible to make any position. But he does probably have a faster car than most of the other people out here, except for maybe the championship contenders, which are still in contention. A lot of cars flying around the outside lane, diving to the inside. You can clearly tell that everybody's pretty much found their groove, found their line. Daniel Draws in front of the 15 now, has a clear lead in front of him. But again, he needs to pass that 65 if he wants a championship. And from the looks of it, Hungry Bones is definitely running away with this win. If you look at the leaderboard, you'll see that Daniel clocked in at 0.78 seconds behind the 65, which isn't horribly bad, but definitely not what he wants if he wants to get in front of the 65. But now John Castellan is going to make a move and move him up the track, which is pretty cool to see him doing such a great deed to his other, opponents. But John Castellan is a single car team, so I'm not sure who he's looking to help here. Hungry Bones absolutely running away with this win right now. Look at everybody flying by. Those two BAM teammates right next to each other, Krastina and Puerto Rico, running 6th and 7th. Their team leader has fallen all the way to the back of the field once again. and that is just a very sad thing to see. Philip Ball, he wasn't exactly the best competitor, as he, like I said earlier, only had one win. But he was very consistent all season, which is how he managed to get to the top 4 with just one win. And that win came very early in the series. It wasn't like a late win. So that's probably what helped contributed to it as well. But Philip Ball has been very consistent all season, and that first wreck was just not it for him. And that's launched him all the way to the back of the field. And I can only imagine the anger he is feeling towards Easy2B right now. Mike Jones battling with Puerto Rico YT right now for the position of 5th, which is what Mike Jones wants, because he wants to stay within that 91's reach just in case there's a caution or something that comes out to bunch the field back up and get him his positions back. Mike Jones is running 5th as of right now, and Daniel Draws is still in 3rd. He still has 2 positions he needs to make up, but that gap is growing ever so bigger with Hungry Bones, because now John Casterline, who is in front of the 91, is clocking in at 0.03 seconds. The board is actually about to update here as we enter a new lap, and it looks like he is now 0.98 seconds behind him, so he made a little bit of progress. But Daniel Draws is only getting further and further, as he last clocked in at 1.2 seconds, and now he's at 1.33, so lost about 13 seconds there, 0.13 seconds on the 65, which is not good. He needs to be making nothing but advancements if he wants to win this championship. And the 12 is making a move on Mike Jones now. Mike Jones keeps losing spots like this, and he's not going to get the championship. Theft King will, because Theft King is also climbing up the board right now. Still not in the top 10 quite, but is definitely trying to make his way up to the top. Hungry Bones is still leading this race. The 27 and the 12 are battling with Mike Jones for the top 5 positions. And they're not doing too shabby of a job, because now Mike Jones is down to 7th. And that's not a good place he wants to be when his competitor is reaching for a win right now. We just got a little bit over 20 laps to go, though. So he might still have... Actually, no, we have exactly 20 laps to go. What am I yapping about? But, yeah. So he still has plenty of time to get back up there and maybe even win the race. But based off Hungry Bones' car, he is flying right now. I don't think he has a chance to pass him. Daniel definitely doesn't, unless the caution comes out. So Daniel's hopes might be over here unless something happens to the field. But like I said, they are pretty spaced out, so it's very unlikely that somebody's willing to crash this late in the race. Here we are going to go on board with our championship contenders. Here is Daniel Draws racing behind Zeke Sensenike throughout the backstretch, and then into turn 1 and 3 and 4 actually. Here's Mike Jones behind Crastina and Puerto Rico YT. They're going to fly. Here's the rear camera of the 92. There's BFDI, aka Michael Hong, right behind him. Here's the onboard with Theft King. He's racing through 1 and 2 right now behind 2 Balls Animation Motorsports, CMH Geo Balls, and Druder Nil. He's going to ride the top lane. He might have a tire issue there. Oh no, Jaden Williams is on his inside. He probably forced him up there high. And we're going to get back to the racing action. Frosted Derp is in the pits for some reason. Engine probably blew or something. That seems to have become a common occurrence at these races for some reason. Since the Phoenix race was not published, but at the beginning of the race, Jeremiah Cash started second with Crasina Animations getting the pole, but Jeremiah's engine blew and unfortunately had to forfeit his position and didn't even actually get back to the race. So, yeah. And also Zeke Sensenike blew a motor at Dover as well the other day. There he is right now racing with Daniel Draws for third position. So he's looking to stay in the top 3. There's Theft King racing in the back as well. The 15 still trying to make progress towards the 65, but it's just not coming, as the gap is still getting bigger and bigger as we speak. The last time I mentioned it, he was clocking in at 0.98 seconds. Now he's at 1.68 seconds. So about, I want to say, 0.90 seconds lost. Maybe that's a little bit too high. 0.70. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. But Hungry Bones is absolutely flying. His lap time's increasing by the minute, or should I say by the second. He clocked in last lap at 130 seconds. So about 2 minutes. No, that's less than 2 minutes. A minute, 2 minutes. Oh yeah, that's 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and now he's clocking in 1.123, which is a little over 2 minutes, about 3 seconds. So yeah, he's definitely getting better. But those tires look like they're wearing down. He is holding that outside lane a lot now, but that might just be his racing line because it doesn't seem to be affecting his lead over the 15, 10, and 91. Mike Jones is still in contention for this championship as he's still in the top 10, but he is still losing spots to these other cars that aren't even racing for the championship. Meanwhile, Daniel Jaws also isn't making too much progress as he's been kicked out of his second place spot, dropping down to 4th, and he is now 2 seconds behind the leader, which is very bad. Mike Jones isn't looking to win this race, so he isn't necessarily as bad as a position as a 91. Because like I said, Mike Jones doesn't need to win this race, but Daniel does because he's in third position on the leaderboard. But Theft King just necessarily has to get a good finish, possibly in the top 10. Maybe he'll get the championship. But that doesn't even look to be the case because Theft King isn't in the top 10 at all. So right now it's looking like Mike Jones is due to win the championship, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Daniel Jaws still very much has a chance as long as the caution comes out. But when you look at the lead that the 65 has, well, let's be happy that he's not running for the championship because he definitely has a fast car today. I don't know why he decided to have a fast car when he was out of contention, but for some reason he decided to lock the F in, and he is gapping second place and third place right now, running at approximately 1.81 seconds in front of John Casterline, and the 91 is just moving back positions, and he is now 2.1 seconds behind. No, 2.11 now. So Daniel Jaws not having the greatest time. But Hungry Bones is having the time of his life. And Mike Jones, knowing he doesn't even need to win this race, is definitely having a great time. Because he is just chilling in the back of the top 10 right now. Shoot, maybe he could even want to finish up here. That'd be pretty cool as well. And only just in case his victory in the YouTube Cup Series championship. Proving that no matter what the circumstances are, you can definitely do something great. Why do I say that? Because, well, yes, Mike Jones did get 3 wins this season, but 2 of those wins came in very late in the season and back-to-back towards one another, which is probably the only reason he's in the top 4 right now, because he got really late championship meaningful wins, and he managed to stay top in the points long enough where that can make a difference to his championship run. Just 10 laps to go here at Homestead, with Hungry Bones still dominating the race. Daniel Jaws is now finding himself in third, 2 seconds behind Hungry Bones. Mike Jones running an easy ninth with 6 seconds behind the leader. But we don't need to worry about that statistic because I think I've said it enough already, but he doesn't need to be in the lead. So, as for Theft King and Philip Ball, we all know Philip Ball's day ended on the first lap. So, still very bad circumstances for him. Theft King is not in the top 10, so it's not likely that he is going to get the championship win either. So the main 2 cars you're going to want to be looking at is Daniel Jaws and Mike Jones because they have the most contention to win the championship right now. So if you weren't rooting for them earlier, you better start rooting for them now because your driver is not making the championship, if I'm being honest. If they're not up here in the top 10 right now battling for at least 5th or 1st, then you can go ahead and kiss their championships goodbye until season 2. Hungry Bones still leading this race as we just got 8 laps to go at Homestead. Hungry Bones still flying down the backstretch all by himself. He's doing a great job right now. Daniel Jaws is slightly improving his time catching up to the 65. But it's still not going to be enough to get the championship. Mike Jones can't fall back at any positions either. I know I've reiterated it as he just doesn't need to do anything pretty much. That's not the case because he still needs to get a good finish as well. Or Theft King or Daniel Jaws might get the championship. And Mike Jones has currently dropped 2 positions since we last talked about him. He's running 10th now instead of 8th. So he's right down there at the bottom, and that's not very good for him. There's Michael Hong. They're taking a look at around the middle of the field. There's Puerto Rico IT. He had a great late season with two very late wins to his career name now. Crash Stand Animations in 27 behind Connor Hudson. He also has had a mediocre season. Got pole a couple times. But now he has no wins, and it's the end of season 1. So it's safe to say the 27 didn't have quite as banger of an experience. But the car you're seeing right now, Daniel Jaws, is in jeopardy of losing a championship because he is running 4th. 2nd and 3rd are in front of him. But he needed to finish at least maybe 1st. At least 2nd, actually. But he definitely could have gone with 1st. But Hungry Bones has absolutely run away with the field. And he just got wiped the floor with. Daniel Jaws has had an amazing season as well. It's been reiterated a lot. Won at Daytona twice, at the beginning of the season and then at the end of the regular season. He is definitely not going to go down in vain because he is the first driver to win a race in the YouTube Cup Series. And that's documented. He's also the first ever driver to win a race at the end of the regular season. And to make it into the Final Four. So Daniel Jaws, despite not exactly being in contention of a championship anymore, definitely don't count him out as one of this series' greatest drivers. He won at the same track twice in a row, won a first race, made it to the Final Four of the championship. His teammates aren't that bad either. Frosted Derp won at Phoenix. King Science won at Rockingham. I mean, it's safe to say this guy's career is not exactly that bad. So far, at least. He's now catching up to Zeke Sensenike and John Casterline as we round the final corners. 3 laps to go. Daniel Jaws might pass these two guys, but it won't really matter. Unless maybe if he can get in front of Casterline before the race is over. Could get those last couple of points, but his momentum just isn't looking great right now. Scouring through the field as we have 2 laps to go. There's Frosted Derp. There's Mike Jones. The number 92, the guy who's looking the most to win the championship right now. He is running 10th, though, so we're going to have to see. Because between him and Dano, it actually might be really close. But like I said, Dano does need that top 2. There's Theft King. He hasn't had a good race at all. Had a great season. Won 4 races and was in the top of the points for the whole time. Phillip Ball has 1 win. And he is his team leader. Made it to the Final Four, but just didn't have enough momentum. Final lap here at... Final lap here at Homestead. Hungry Bones has had quite the season as well. I mean, I think he has like 2 wins under his belt. And he is looking to make it 3 at Homestead. The number 65 Dodge for Rant Racing has flown around this track in the third half of the race. And it's safe to say that he definitely deserves this win because he had a really fast car all day. But Hungry Bones is not the guy you're going to want to be looking at. And since Daniel Jaws has not passed the turn of the 15, you're going to have to look at the number 92 for NASCAR Motorsports. Mike Jones has won the YouTube Cup Series Championship for Season 1. Round of applause for Mike Jones, the number 92. We have made it this far, and Mike Jones is going to be your YouTube Cup Series winner. The first ever in history. Great stuff there by Mike Jones. There's Phillip Ball. Coming across the line last. Mike Jones, an outstanding job. Here is championship chase comes to an end. Hungry Bones wins at Homestead, and Mike Jones takes the championship. Mike Jones finished just 13 points over Theft King, so he definitely had a great shot. As I said, Daniel Jaws needed that lead. It has been a great season with you guys as Mike Jones does his championship. Season 2 is just right around the corner. We just need a little bit more drivers. So feel free to look around for any opportunities that you see to join the series. And Season 2 will be coming around the bend. This has been an amazing journey with you guys throughout this season. It's real emotional. Mike Jones is our first ever YouTube Cup Series champ with just 3 wins under his belt, which isn't too bad. He does his burnout, hits the wall a couple times as well. And he's giving smoke for y'all. Also, I might do burnouts for just every race from now on, because this was actually kind of cool. And this has been Blowover Productions. Mike Jones is your championship winner for Season 1. And we will see you in the inaugural race for Season 2 of the YouTube Cup Series. Blowover Productions, out.